Well, hello my YouTube friend. Here is a long overdue video, sorry. I have been missing the opportunity to do the video about that non-flipper that I received from Master Stan Wilson during the Blade show. I don't know why I haven't done it. Maybe because I have done quite a thorough video that have been seen quite a lot at that time on YouTube. My channel was followed by more people and now way less, but there are still, at least a couple of hundred people following me, and just for that, and even for less, I would still have the pleasure to keep on making those videos. So yeah, maybe one of the reasons why I haven't done a video about the latest non-flipper, but also I made a video on during Blade with Stan Wilson, with that knife and the collaboration with Todd Fisher. So yeah, I don't know. Some reason why I haven't done this video, but this morning I've checked my feed. One guy was requesting that video about the non-flipper, so that's almost a video per request. But also I had another incentive that pushed me to make that video, and actually it was because of Irma, the monster hurricane that is now going through Florida, hopefully making no damages, and it's going west where actually Stan lives. So I have a thought for him, for the Fishers, and for all my friends there in Florida, and all the people who are exposed to that crazy hurricane. Hopefully nothing bad will happen to anyone there. So yeah, all the good reason for me to do that video while thinking about Stan. So for those of you who didn't follow me at that time, here is a very particular knife made by one of the master knife maker out there. Is a true genius. We use that word quite often, but Stan Wilson is a true genius. What an ingenuity, what an craftsmanship, what an art in everything he does, and that's, to me, his best achievement. The not this one in particular, but the non-flipper is his best achievement, along with the dual action visor. But this is really something special. So basically, for those of you who haven't seen that, this is a flipper, but a non-flipper. So as you can see, there is no flipper tab here. The flipper tab is that. It's a bolster, and I'm going to try to show it to you like that. So basically, the bolster rotates here, and then you have inside a spring. So it's not spring assist. The spring only brings the bolster back in place. That's it. So it deploys the blade there, and here what you see is actually the stop pin that is moving here with the bolster. So that mechanism right there, it's his invention. So it started with him wanting to make a flipper, but him being an artist, he abhorred the protrusion that makes the flipper tab. So he just invented that crazy mechanism, and that's just fantastic. Look at that shit, just pure genius. So that is for the deployment. So the bolster on the lock side. It's actually not the lock side. Yeah, we call it a lock side, whatever. On the clip side, the bolster is the deployment. Then again, the other bolster is the release. As you have seen me doing, I just rotate slightly like that, the bolster. And what it does is that, if you can see it here, you have just a mark here. It's flawless, but you have still a mark here, and that's actually a lock back. So basically it pushes, you see my fingers? This is the lock bar. So what the bolster does is that it puts a pressure on the lock back here to release the blade. That's what it does. Boom, look at that. Fantastic. So you can also release the blade by just pressing here like that. I'm gonna do it in a way that I'm not gonna hurt myself. So when I push it here, boom, the blade, I'm gonna put it again. So I'm gonna take some distance. When I press here, boom, the blade disengaged, you see? But the best way to do it, some people have really hard time to disengage it by here because there's a kind of soft spot here, and someone may have issue to disengage it as easily as that. But when you get it, that is just, I'm going to try to take some distance, that is just addictive. You can just flip it like crazy like that. You see, it can be really fast. With the gloves, it's kind of more difficult, but you can play, if you just get the trick, it's like really addictive. I can play like that, like the full day. I used to, sorry about that, the gloves really are messing with me. I used to be quite a master at flipping those non-flipper, but that's genius, and it's really, really addictive. So I used to have one that I traded. I couldn't have sold it. For no reason in the world, I would have been able to part with my previous non-flipper. So I had the opportunity to get a very rare Rexford with the Koa scale, very, very rare. And I knew that at some point, being kind of friendly with Stan, I would get another non-flipper, while I was not sure at all that I would get another Rexford with Koa scale. And actually I haven't seen any since then, so I don't regret my choice, since I have now that new non-flipper with this package that I absolutely adore. So now, let's see what package we have here actually. Look at those beautiful scales of Mokutai. So I'm kind of a blue-ish kind of guy. I love blue on the Mokutai. Either a deep blue, but we see them a lot, or that kind of really light blue going to the almost white, yellowish white like that. I absolutely adore this color. Actually, very, very rare. Either you're going to see some purple or purple, red, stuff like that, or deep blue. But this blue like that, with kind of, like you say, like you can see here, whitish and yellowish, not bronze. It's yellow. Beautiful. It's that taint of color. I absolutely adore it, and he got it exactly the same way on both sides, which I absolutely adore. Really, really, really like that. Unusual, and I mean really to my liking. I don't know about you. Some people I know, they don't really like when it's too light like that, but I absolutely adore it. Newest feature on the newer versions, you have also the pivot, that is in Mokutai, which I absolutely adore. Then, what do we have on the bolster and the clip? Man, that's quite unusual for my friend Stan, because that here is not the blackened titanium. You know that, I'm going to open the blades for you to appreciate in the same way, same time. You know that Stan has a process, I think he invented it, or he described it, one of the first to describe the process to blacken the titanium, okay? So, not only that, but also he absolutely despise the use of zirconium. So you might think from distance that this is blackened titanium, of course, but not. It's actually zirconium, what he calls the evil element. So it's quite unusual for him to put zirconium, but like he told me at Blade, if you put the price, he would do it. He's kidding, of course, as I do. But I'm really, really happy to have zirconium in it, because it gives even some more heft on it, and the contrast that I absolutely adore. So, on the zirconium, what I don't like is when you have some shades, it's not pure black. I don't like when it's too matte. I don't like when it's too shiny white, because you're going to have all the fingerprints there. This finish, I just adore it. It's reflective, kind of matte, but with a very neat reflective finish, and I just adore the finish on this zirconium. The same on the clip, of course, with the hidden hardware everywhere, of course. Something I haven't mentioned, but it's hidden hardware everywhere. Where my previous one had screws, this one is totally screwless, and I absolutely love that. Look how neat it is to have no hardware on both sides. I absolutely adore that. So, scale that I adore, bolster that I adore. Now let's talk about that blade. Check that marvelous Donna Steel. Absolutely phenomenal. And check the thickness that we have here. The thickness, I mean, usually that Damasteel actually it's done it's an order made specifically for him because they don't do usually that kind of thickness. So he asked them that because he wanted the backspacer to be Damasteel, and of course following here the blade, look at that, it's flawless. You barely see the junction between the backspacer and the blade. So you have here quite the thick blade, which allows him to make a very higher hollow, because usually on the non-flipper, the hollow grind with the thinner blade starts here. Here, when a thicker blade like that, you can make a very high hollow, and that makes a very dramatic contrast. I don't know if you can appreciate it here, but the hollow is just fantastic. And of course, it's just no bump at all, just beautiful. The swedge here is also just fantastic. The finish on that blade, as you can expect from Stan, is sublime. And the contrast that you have on the Damasteel is just phenomenal. The more it goes, the more I like Damasteel, because it's cosmetic, it's beautiful, and it's a steel that you can actually use. Of course, I'm not going to use that knife. But on other knives, this is a steel that I like more and more, for its cosmetic reason, like I said, and the practical use that you can have with that steel. Check that. Now, forget about the mechanics, forget about the ingenuity of it, of whatever. Check the design of that knife. Man, it's a sublime design. Disregard the very dressy finish on this one. Just take like carbon fiber and here like titanium and a regular blade steel, and that's a fantastic user. Check that. I mean, of course it's a little bit thick, but what a very nice knife. I mean, it holds so well in hand. And the blade shape, look at that. I mean, that's a fantastic, it could be a fantastic user. Check that. I mean, it's sharp as hell. And the shape of it makes it for a very nice slicer. Thruster less, because the tip is not that strong. But that's a knife that you can use for daily use, like a true EDC. And even other than that, I mean, check only the aesthetic of it. Check that line. Usually on his lines, you can, maybe argue you like it or you don't like it. This is, to me, obviously, there is not such thing as, there's no accounting for taste, okay? But honestly, I would be happy to see if anyone here would find that line not to be beauty. I mean, there's no obvious beauty, but this is the closest thing that I know of to obvious beauty. I can't imagine anyone coming and say, oh, you know what, this knife has a terrible line, I wouldn't like it. I just can't imagine that. Whatever. Anything can happen, but hard for me to imagine that. So the detent is very good. The previous one had a weak detent, but the first one that I got was one of the, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe first non-flipper he did. He improved, I mean, his action dramatically. It's like the detent is really nice. It's flicking like nothing, and you have this double click that a lot of people adore to hear, and that includes me. Hear that. Tadak. Again. Tadak. It's like addictive to play with it. It's addictive to hear it. Everything is addictive. And as you can expect from Stan, everything is perfect. It's jeweled inside. Let me check if I can show you that. Of course, you have the jeweling inside. As Stan usually said, it has to be as beautiful from the inside. So if you take off all the pieces, you're going to see that everything is jeweled. Even the things you can see are just fantastically finished. And this plate here, I'm going to try to find some light. You see that's a gold plate. Let me see if I can show you that. It's a gold plate with his name engraved in it. How beautiful is that? Phenomenal. And as you can expect from Stan, of course, oh man, we're heading to the 15 minutes. All the junctions are flawless. Remember that is a moving part. Everywhere it's a moving part, but yet you cannot even feel the junctions here with the liners, here with the lock. Everything is just absolutely spot on. I'm gonna finish the video here because I don't want to stop it like brutally. It has been a pleasure to do this video, and I'll catch you very soon for another one. Bye bye, my friends.